Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Our topic today, commitment issues, personal flaw or rational response to modern life. I'm Caroline Heward, and I'm thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. I'm a TV presenter and I'm also the resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio. I've been on the channel now for 4.5 years. A very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV and all our usual friends on our usual platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and X. Today, I'm joined by our wonderful full-time panelists. We always have really insightful and riveting conversations. I'm very pleased to share this platform with our full-time resident panelist, who is, Reverend Lydia Fougeres. She's coming all the way from Canada. She is a TV presenter in her own right and running a top 10 show. She is also a country partner and an author of bilingual self-help books. She's a registered nurse and a holistic nurse. She's also an intuitive and spiritual healer. And she invented this amazing mist called Miracle Mist, which is patent pending. I'm sure she will share some more details about that when she introduces herself. She's also an advocate for free rights. Please welcome our wonderful full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fougeres.
Wow, what a warm welcome. Thank you very much.
Totally deserved.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please, Reverend Lydia, please introduce yourself and tell our audience a little bit more about what you do and how you bring value. And please do share about your other Miracle Mist that you do that I haven't mentioned, because I've left you something to say.
Well, that is it. I'm a Reverend, so I do celebrate weddings. I also I'm a spiritual teacher, so I work on personal transformation, introspection, mindfulness, and compassionate self-discovery of everyone. And I work with my books that are called 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey. So that is, I engage in life through curiosity with my students, and I bring them a sense of sacred connection also. As for the Miracle Mist is actually, it is a mist that I invented some years ago that is patent pending, that purifies spaces. So someone that wants to carry a ritual, or people that have ghosts in their houses and do not want to have them, you do not always want to have ghosts in your house. So the Miracle Mist actually is to chase ghosts away, because it was inspired by the divine source that gave the ingredients to me, because I am blessed with hearing the divine talked to me since I was born. So I'm lucky like that. And it elevates all vibrations. I did also the Perfect Mate incense, but we will keep that for the rest. So thank you very much for greeting me.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. And always wonderful to share this platform with you. It really is. I enjoy the show doing this with you because we have a certain synergy and a similar way of viewing things. So thank you very much. And for me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I help people bust their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, how the mind and body connects, and what happens to the person physically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally when there's an imbalance. And the imbalance is the symptoms. Some people walk around and they say, I'm not stressed, but then in the next moment, they are complaining about physical ache and pain, or they're complaining that they can't sleep, or they feel anxious, or they're feeling depressed. And this is how it's showing up in their lives. I work with the blueprint of the person and identify where it originally started and obliterate the problem. I'm also a speaker, and I speak on stage as well as online events. And I'm also a co-author in Dr. Jacqueline's book from, oh gosh, I keep forgetting it from, it's to awesome. Sorry, it's gone. My apologies. From adversity to awesome, I think it is. My apologies. I should write that down. And I'm also the resident therapist on the channel. I'm one of 5 talking heads presenters on the channel and have been for a number of years. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline, for the whizzy effect behind the scenes. Thank you. So now let's get into the topic. When I chose this topic, I felt that it was really relevant for the time of year, and also where many things, especially at the end of the year, that people will become reflective of what they're going to do in the coming year and reflect on the year that's happened. I always find that December ends up for me being quite a reflective month. You know, where am I? What have I been doing? Where am I going to go? And, you know, I have then a focus to look at what next. So commitment issues. Is it a personal flaw or a rational response to modern life? Why do so many people struggle with commitment today? Is it fear? Is it overwhelm? Is it too many options? Or is it a shift in cultural values? In this episode, we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind commitment, loyalty, boundaries, personal and professional life. So my first question, and it really is quite a deep question because it's how we look at commitment, what we consider commitment is. Is it a flaw versus rational response? So commitment issues, it could be seen as a personal flaw or a natural response to modern pressures of loyalty, commitment, and boundaries. So do people struggle with commitment today more than previous generations? Or do we just talk about it more? What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, I think that people actually struggle with it a lot more because at our age, we were used to actually commit to whatever task we had to do. And we were used to go work, do this, do that. We did not, it was not part of a choice. It was just like we had to commit, and we had a lot of discipline because commitment actually asks for discipline. So someone that doesn't have any discipline cannot commit to anything because they have that flaw. So that is the way it is.
You know, you raise an important question there about commitment and discipline. You know, I always find it fascinating when I see people of the silent generation, you know, that are in their 80s, particularly, and they share that they've been married together with their partner for 50 or 60 years. And I just think, how does that happen? And what they share which I feel is very insightful, is the fact that you grow with your partner, and there is rocky times and difficult times, but you move through it and you grow together through those challenges, because nothing's ever a smooth path. And if you met somebody when they were 20 and you're now with them when they're 80, they've gone through many iterations of life changes. And I find that really insightful. What do you think about what I've just shared, Reverend Lydia? Because I just think, well, when I got married, it only lasted 5 years. And that was because it almost seemed a much easier option to get a divorce and for my then partner to cheat on me. It seemed to be, sort of part of the course of the way that a lot of relationships panned out. What are your thoughts about that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, what I think, first of all, I was married twice, so I know what it is. I was 23 years with my first husband, 10 with my second husband. And my first husband, we just grew apart. We did not understand one another anymore. And it was not even about arguing, because I am the kind of person that I do not argue. I just go silent. That is all. And for my second partner, it was alcohol that destroyed the marriage. So it was not the fact that we grew apart. One marriage grew apart because communication, the other alcoholism. So the thing is that it is the way it is. Back in the days, actually, if your husband drank, if your wife drank, you actually lived through it and you just stayed on the bus. You just do not divorce. That was the way. You were not allowed to divorce. I know that my parents, whatever happened, they were not allowed to divorce, and they worked through their marriage that way. So that is the way it works. So
thank you, Reverend Lydia. Very insightful, and thank you very much for your openness and your transparency. When we share our vulnerability, I feel that we connect so much more emotionally with our audience, and that to me is very precious, because many other people will have similar sort of circumstances and situations that they have experienced. So I really appreciate your openness for transparency. Thank you. And today's younger generations, I feel that there's more choice somehow. And I almost feel that there is more conversation about the fact that people are looking at commitment and feeling freer to not commit. And it's almost like they've checked out what the older generations have done, their parents and their grandparents, and they've made decisions based on the fact that that's not what they want to experience. What are your thoughts about that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, maybe they fear the experience of commitment because they saw people do so many sacrifices in the name of commitment. I know that many say, I will never marry because my parents' wedding was a disaster, so they never want to commit. That is the reason why they do not commit, because of what they saw. But it's the opposite for me. Actually, I committed again because of what I saw. My grandparents, my aunts, the whole thing, they were happily married. And that is why I live in hope and I'm committed again. That is what it is.
It's very beautiful, Reverend Lydia. Really is. That I haven't committed again yet. I say yet because there's always time. So can we be loyal without being committed? Or are they two? Are those two inseparable? Are they inseparable? Or can we just be loyal without that commitment? And one of the reasons that I've thought about that question is the fact that there is much more conversation about having many partners, polygamy, in terms of having more than one sexual partner that you live with. And I know that this is quite a hot topic, but my feeling is, and we are looking at personal at the moment, and I feel that in the personal arena, this has come up, that it can create some challenges, especially if the connection and the loyalty is deeper for one partner rather than the other. Do you have any thoughts or comments to make on that?
Well, someone cannot be loyal and not be committed at the same time. So they have to be loyal to be committed. That is the way. It is impossible to be committed and disloyal at the same time. It is a choice. Either they're committed or either they are not. That is the way. So either they are loyal or they are not. Multiple partners, that means no commitment.
I'm firmly in agreement with you. I'm a one-man woman, a one-woman, you know what I mean? A one-woman man. I just wonder, why do some people show loyalty when it's convenient? And this is something that has always bothered me. Somebody can be very loyal to you when it's convenient to them, but then they change towards you when it's not convenient. And there is certain personalities that do this. Have you ever had that experience, Reverend Lydia? I certainly have, when I've been wanted for something like a project that needs doing, and there's a deadline and everything has to be done. So I'm committed and I'm loyal and I'm really getting there. And when it's done, it's like they forgot about me. They forgot that I did that great thing, and it's on to the next project. And certainly when in my marketing days, I would consider that there was a cliche that people would say that you're only as good as the last thing you did. Do you have any thoughts or comments?
Well, that means that they can discard of you as they please. So that means that we do not mean anything to them. So we do not have to be loyal to them. They do not deserve our loyalty. They do not deserve for us to be so committed to them. So if someone actually uses us like that, it is absolutely inconceivable that we continue serving them for their purpose and not serve our own purpose, which is freedom and love and life.
You share something really insightful there, Reverend Lydia, because I feel, and I speak to many people from the younger generations, Generation Z in particular, and Alpha Generation Z, who've just come into the workplace, and the younger generation that are just coming up and in school at the moment. And they have a limited level of commitment to their work because they have seen their parents and their grandparents in burnout and giving everything to the companies that they've worked for. And they've also witnessed that they are left with nothing. And they have been not looked after at the end. And when I ask the questions, because I am really inquisitive, I'm really interested in behavior, especially when behaviors change. I always ask an internal question. I wonder, so I'm always been a questioner. And they just say, I don't live to work. I don't, they work not to live, but they live to live. So work is almost an inconvenience that they need to do to gain money. And I find that fascinating that they have such a view of work-life balance. And we are at the point of break. And I wanted to share that because I felt that the different generations, they do have an entirely different perspective on what I would say our generation and the older generations, where we were much more committed in the workplace. So let's go over to a short commercial break. Please do come back, whether you're on the live or the replay, where we will explore more about commitment issues, personal flaw or rational response to modern life. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you after the break.
In a noisy world, True connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day. Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Welcome back to A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. If you're here on the replay or the live, welcome back. If you've just joined us, please do check out the first part just before the commercial break. I am joined by Reverend Lydia all the way from Canada, and we've been having a really interesting and insightful conversation. So please welcome back, Reverend Lydia.
No.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. So we've been having some interesting explorations, haven't we, about commitment and the different generations. But what I want to just continue this conversation in terms of how do commitment avoidant individuals affect the workplace performance and team morale. And I'm looking here particularly, and when I say workplace avoidant, commitment avoidant people, it'll be almost like, especially in companies particularly, that people will hide behind their screen and behind their desk and not do things. And they will look busy. There's like this looking busy, but not actually being busy. You know the kind of thing I mean? I mean, we're not both in companies right now, but, you know, sort of in my corporate life, and I know it still goes on. I just wonder whether it is about the fear factor of failure, being hurt, losing autonomy, or making the wrong choice. Do you have any thoughts to share on the fact that there are commitment avoidant people within the workplace? And what are your thoughts on why they are avoiding commitment?
Well, many people feel they are not up to the commitment they have to make. So, as I always say, someone that does not do anything never makes a mistake. So they are the ones that are afraid to make a mistake, so they will not do anything to be sure that they never show their flaws. So that is the way it works. So people actually are scared of looking bad by doing a task that will probably make them look not as well at ease as their work that they are used to do, something that they repeat all the time. So instead of taking a chance and dive into something absolutely wonderful, which is novelty, they will avoid and they will hide their Pokemon game in a book. So that is the way it is. They are avoiding because they are scared of not being able to do the task.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Some wise insights there. I must admit, when I was listening to you, I was kind of nodding because I know when I've been in the workplace, especially in corporate, there have been those people that are great at avoiding, but look the part. They come out of the elevator with the CEO, so they're seen, but they don't actually participate. It's very interesting, very interesting power play, I called it. I was always a bit of a worker bee. And I would say that I flew by the seat of my pants. I just got stuck in, and I was a constant. I would say that they called me a super performer. If there was something that I had to get stuck into that was like a project that couldn't be possibly achieved within the time scale, I would just almost take it on as a challenge. and then succeed, because that was something in my own personality, my behavior, that I wanted to succeed because I enjoyed the work. I've always enjoyed the work that I do in whatever way that I have worked, whether it be voluntary and unpaid, on non-exec committee meetings and on non-exec roles, and also within paid environments as well as here, because I have a commitment and a loyal streak in whatever I do to show up and be there. And I just wonder whether, when I see people that don't always show up, how that impacts them, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you are not showing up in terms of being loyal or committed, that would affect your personal life as well. Do you have any thoughts or things that you would wish to share on that?
Well, when you want to know if someone is able to commit, you actually, all you have to do is ask their track record. So when you look at their track record, you know if you should actually ask them to commit to something or not, because they are actually very proud of their track record. So, like the people that tell me that they have been married 5 times, well, it's really not a good idea to be the sixth wife. So things like that, if they never achieved anything, if they always changed job, things like that. You watch their track record and you know if they are able to commit or not. It is the way they are.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Behaviour, I think, is fascinating. I'm always interested in the way that people respond and react, and how people respond in everyday life to situations and changes and circumstances. But I have, and we have, we're of an age that we have witnessed huge changes globally and in our locality, in our own countries, where the dating culture has completely changed, turned on its head. There is a swipe left and a swipe right. And I feel that there is almost too many options to commit to anything. As you mentioned, there is a lot of job hopping. When I was going into work, when I first left school, there was a consideration that there were jobs for life or careers for life. Obviously, we've been in those decades where that's changed over time. But, I wonder whether this myth of there always being something better on the other side, the grass is always greener on the other side, is something that urges people on to keep making those changes. And social media, there is so much comparison, especially with influencers. What my thoughts are, that there is too much choice, especially for our younger generation who've grown up with that choice, to feel that they need to make commitments. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, you are absolutely right, because young people now, they do not feel they have to commit, because they know that they can change from one thing to the other, from one work to the other. Because when you think about COVID, now there is a lack when it comes to finding people to work. So the thing is that they know they can just start working on Monday and then work 6 months, and then on Friday they are tired, so they change job the week after. So they do not feel the pressure of committing to one boss, because they know they can change boss anytime. And that is the way it is, because more people just stop working, they retire younger, and they do not want to, they just bounce from work to work to work to work, and they just let go of their work for no reason at all. They do not like the eyes of their boss. They just, okay, I don't like your eyes, so bye bye, I am gone. So this is like Dr. Jacqueline says, it's like, yes, a trophy. Yeah, that is what she says. It's like a trophy mentality, that they can accumulate scores by doing whatever they want. That is the way they do not feel they have to perform because they can do whatever they want. So this is the way they feel. Dr. Jacqueline just hit the dot. It is exactly the way they feel. No pressure to perform because they have it all.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia, for your wise insights. And thank you, Dr. Jacqueline, for your shares behind the scenes in the chat, which I'm not looking at because I'm here making sure that I know what questions I'm going to ask and making sure that it is flowing. And one of the things that has come to mind that I consider, especially in families, loyalty as obligation, or loyalty as genuine devotion. When loyalty becomes unhealthy, it actually affects our own boundaries. And that's something for the audience. I'm leaving that question for the audience to consider when they watch this show on the live or while they're watching it on the replay. Is it healthy to have obligation as loyalty? So, Reverend Lydia, does past trauma justify commitment avoidance?
Yes, it does. Yes, because past traumas, you actually live with them. You actually suffer from them. I am not saying you as you. I'm saying in general. So people actually have traumas, they suffer from their past, and sometimes they cannot, because they were let down so many times that they cannot commit. They are hurt so badly that they cannot commit to anything because they suffer. They suffer silently, and people say, well, that person is not an easy person. This person has no loyalty whatsoever. But you have to ask them, they have no loyalty whatsoever, but was anyone ever loyal to them? And as I used to say to police officers when I was working as a nurse, and we had to do private services for people that were caught by the police that were shot, okay, because they do not always die. I would say to the police officer, if they were impolite to the patient because they were tied to the bed, they were in a state of arrest, I would say, when that person was 5 years old, tell me, do you think that person told the teacher, I want to be a robber, I want to be a gangster, I want to be whatever? No, that person said like you, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be whatever, but they never said they wanted to be the gangster. They were 5 and they were honest. So that is the way it works. So we should never judge, though, someone that cannot commit. Sometimes it is their past that makes it that way.
I'm nodding here in the background, Reverend Lydia, because you've shared some wise insights there, because we don't know what's happened in the person's background. And it is important, certainly in a therapy situation, which both of us are in with our clients, then we find out that somebody can be super successful, but then they have some super trauma going on, which creates the behaviors that are almost destructive in terms of their private and their professional lives. And it does have an impact on their relationships, both in their personal and professional lives, because you can't separate the two, and it does come out, and it depends on how the other people react and respond to that, and how the person is able to adjust and change from the feedback. We are at the end of our show, and there's so much more I want to explore on this topic. And at the same time, I really feel that we've done commitment, loyalty, and obligation to real justice here. And I really thank you wholeheartedly for your insightful shares, Reverend Lydia, and for the exploration that we've had tonight. And I do just want to look very quickly before we go at some possible solutions. And we have shared some along the way during this conversation, but some possible solutions is to have recognition, to be in awareness that there is some commitment difficulties and some commitment issues, and also trust and setting expectations on both sides. Please, Reverend Lydia, share how people can reach you and the best way to reach you. And please do share how they can get your Miracle Mist and your other essence as well.
Okay. They can reach me at 1-514-582-6882. They can also write to me at greatdivinemother@gmail.com. They can also write to me on Facebook. I have Lydia Fougeres on Facebook, or LinkedIn, Lydia Guylaine Fougeres on LinkedIn. They can also buy my books on Amazon, 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. They can buy my books, and the Miracle Mist and the Perfect Mate Incense are available on Etsy.com in my boutique that has the name of Holy and Holy. So thank you very much. So the Perfect Mate Incense helps a lot, it seems. And the Miracle Mist is something that I absolutely recommend. I really do recommend it because it is very misunderstood. And someone that buys a Miracle Mist will see all the benefits they have from it the minute they start spraying that bottle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. And to all of our viewers that are watching, please do check out Reverend Lydia's products and her books, because she is definitely worth checking out and testing her Miracle Mist and her one for seeking a mate. For me, you can reach me on No More Stress at live.co.uk, or call me if you're international, +44, if you're local, 07523 120 189. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Those are the two channels that I mainly use. Please do follow and connect with me and drop me a message. I'm also offering at the moment, and it's a special, ridiculous deal. I'm still continuing my Black Friday deal. So because in England, we have a longer holiday of the special offers of my chakra reading, 15 minutes to an hour, from £20 to £65. The link is in the YouTube description. Sorry, it's not in the YouTube. The link will be on my Facebook page and on my LinkedIn page, and I will put it into the comments after the show. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Reverend Lydia, for always your ingenious and insightful shares, and also for your vulnerability in what you've shared. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline, for all the whizzy effects behind the scenes. And as we close out our show, I want to leave you with some closing key insights. Commitment issues come from fear, not weakness. And as a reminder, our boundaries create clarity, not avoidance. Understanding this helps improve both relationships and leadership. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week at the same time, which is 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And I look forward to sharing another insightful and riveting conversation. Thank you very much, everybody who's joined us here tonight. And thank you very much to all who are watching on the replay. Bye-bye for now, and over to our sponsors.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCranPerkins.com. Tracy Cran-Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful: The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives, by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
The moon is a spotlight, the sun's on the stage, the world's got some good seats, but nobody stays. They get their opinions, I've got mine too. So darling, please listen to what I say. Listen, baby,
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.